20 minutes for you, and what we're doing is looking at the opening of Mariam and Act 4, Scene 7, which is the scene when Mariam is imprisoned by her parents. And the main thing we've been looking at, in terms of working with this text in this slate, is we've been trying to explore this idea that Cary is writing with live performing bodies in mind, so those kind of stage directions to actors that are embedded in the text. And in particular, in this space, looking at entrances and exits, she writes very different indications of ways of making entrances and exits. Some are anticipated, some are surprise entrances. So we've really tried to use this long entrance idea with these two spaces to play with that and really kind of play those up as much as possible to explore them with the performance. The other thing that I think by focusing on the female characters and by showing you the opening of the text, is the other thing that's really, I feel, very radical about this text, which is that you see female character after female character after female character come on stage and give voice, totally unquestioned by any male voices. And that in itself, to my mind, is very radical and is perhaps one of the core reasons why this is a play which I believe deserves a place in our performed repertoire as well as the archive. So it'll be about 20 minutes, and we'll have a bit of extra time afterwards, so we'll come into the yard to discuss, for any comments you'd love to hear, and please feel free to move around as much as you like to see the action. So, I give you Elizabeth Cary's Tragedy of Mariam, Queen of Jewry. Thank you.
Run on to censure Julius Caesar for deceit because he wept when Pompey's life was gone. Yet when he lived, he thought his name too great. But now I do recant. And Roman Lord, forgive too rash a judgment in a woman. My sex pleads pardon then afford, mistaking is with us but too common. Now do I find by self-experience taught, one object yields both grief and joy. You wept when on Pompey's worth you thought, but joy that slaughter did your foe destroy. So at his death your eyes true drops did rain, whom dead you did not wish alive again. When Herod lived, that now is done to death, oft have I wished that I from him were free. Oft have I wished that he might lose his breath. Oft have I wished his carcass dead to see. Then rage and scorn had put my love to flight, that love which once on him was firmly set. Hate hid his true affection from my sight and kept my heart from paying him his debt. But blame me not, for Herod's jealousy had power, even constancy itself, to change for him. By barring me from liberty, to shun my ranging, taught me first to range. And yet, too chaste a scholar was my heart, to learn to love another than my lord, to leave his love. My lessons form a part I quickly learnt. The other I abhorred. But now, his death to memory doth call the tender love that he to Mariam bare, and mine to him. This makes those rivers fall that by another thought unmoistened are. By joy I not, that tongue no more shall speak, that yielded forth my brother's latest doom. Both youth and beauty Herod's fury break, and both in him did ill befit a tomb. Worthy grandsire, ill did he requite his high ascent alone by thee procured, unless he murdered thee to free the sprite which still he thought on earth too long immured. How happy was it that so heinous mind was moved to pity my distressed estate? Might Herod's life a trusty servant find, my death to his had been unseparate. These thoughts have power, his death to make me bear, nay more, to wish the news may firmly hold. be spied, but little thanks shall Mariam have from that insensate queen.
What means these tears? My Mariam doth mistake. The news we heard did tell the tyrant's end. What? Weep'st thou for thy brother's murderer's sake? Will anyone a tear for Herod spend? My curse pursue his breathless drunken spirit, base Edomite, the damned Esau's heir. Must he, ere Jacob's child, the crown inherit? Must he, vile wretch, be set in David's chair? Thou fatal enemy to royal blood, did not the murder of my boy suffice to stop thy cruel mouth that gaping stood? But must thou dim the mild Hyrcanus' eyes? My gracious father, whose too ready hand did lift this Idumean from the dust, and he, ungrateful caitiff, did withstand the man that did in him most friendly trust. Oh, yes, he doth from Edom's name derive his cruel nature, which with blood is fed, that made in me of sire and son deprived, he ever thirsts for blood, and blood is red. Weep'st thou because his love to thee was bent? And read'st thou love in crimson characters? Or slew he thy friends to work thy heart's content? No, hate may justly call that action hers. Was love the cause? Can Mariam deem it true that Herod gave commandment for her death? I know by fits he showed some signs of love, and yet not love, but raging lunacy. And this his hate to thee may justly prove that sure he hates Hyrcanus' family. Who knows if the unconstant wavering lord his love to Doris had renewed again, and that he might his bed to her afford. Perchance he wished that Mariam might be slain.
Doris! Alas, her time of love was past. Those coals were raked in embers long ago of Mariam's love. She is now disgraced. Nor did I glory in her overthrow. Herod, not a whit his firstborn son esteemed, because as well as his he was not mine. My children only for his own he deemed, these boys that did descend from royal line. These did he style his heirs to David's throne. My Alexandra, if he live, shall sit in the majestic seat of Solomon. To will it so, did Herod think it fit?
What more than right could Herod then bestow? And who will think it any more than right? Herod did not raise them, for they were not low, but born to wear the crown in his despite. Then send those tears away, but not sent to thee by reason, but by passion's power. Thine eyes to cheer, thy cheeks to smiles be bent, and entertain with joy this happy hour. Let us retire us, that we may resolve how now to deal in this reversed state. Great are the affairs that we must now revolve, and great affairs must not be taken late.
More plotting yet? Why, now you have the thing for which so oft you spent your suppliant breath.
Mariam hopes to have another king. Her eyes do sparkle joy for Herod's death.
Well, if she desired another king to have, she might, before she came in Herod's bed, had her wish. More kings than one did crave for leave to set a crown upon her head. I think, with that lack of reason, she laments that she is freed from such a sad annoy. Who is it will weep to part from discontent? And if she joy, she did not cause this joy.
You durst not thus have given your tongue the rein if noble Herod still remained in life. Your daughters, betters far, I dare maintain, might have rejoiced to be my brother's wife.
My betters far! Base woman, 'tis untrue. You scarce have ever my superiors seen, for Mariam's servants were as good as you before she came to be Judea's queen.
Now stirs the tongue and is so quickly moved, but more than once your choler have I borne. Your humish words are sooner said than proved, and Salome's reply is only scorn.
Scorn those that are for thy companions, hell. Though I thy brother's face had never seen, my birth, thy baser birth, so far excelled, I had to both of you the princess be. Thou party Jew and party Edomite, thou mongrel issued from rejected race, thy ancestors against the heavens did fight, and thou, like them, wilt heavenly birth disgrace.
Still twitch you me with nothing but my birth. What odds betwixt your ancestors and mine? Both born of Adam, both were made of earth, and both did come from holy Abraham's line.
I fain you, when nothing else I say, with thy black acts I'll not pollute my breath, else to thy charge I might full justly lay a shameful life, besides a husband's death.
'Tis true indeed. I did the plots reveal that passed betwixt your favourites and you. I meant not I a traitor to conceal. Thus, Salome, your minion Joseph slew.
Oh, heaven, dost thou mean this infamy to smother? Let slander Mariam hold thy closed ear, self-guilt hath ever been suspicion's mother, and therefore I will speech with patience bear. No, had not Salome's unsteadfast heart in Joseph's stead her constabarus placed, to free herself she had not used the art to slander hapless Mariam for unchaste.
Come, let us away. It is no boot to let the head contend against the foot.
Live Salome to get so base a style as foot to the proud Mariam, Herod's spirit in happy time her endured exile, for did he live, she should not miss her merit. But he is dead, and though he were my brother, his death, such store of cinders cannot cast my coals of love to quench, for though they smother the flames a while, yet will they out at last. Oh, blessed Arabia, in best climate placed, I by the fruit will sense you of the tree. 'Tis not in vain thy happy name thou hast. If all Arabians like Saleas be, well, have not my fate been too contrary? When I on Constabarus first did gaze, Saleas had been object to mine eye, whose looks and personage must all eyes amaze. But now, ill-fated Salome, thy tongue to Constabarus by itself is tied, and now, unless I do the Hebrew wrong, I cannot be the fair Arabian bride. Childish lets are these. Why stand I now on honourable points? 'Tis long ago since shame was written on my tainted brow, and certain 'tis that shame is honour's foe. Had I upon my reputation stood, had I affected an unspotted life, Joseph's veins had still been stuffed with blood, and I to him had lived a sober wife, well then had I kept my thoughts without remove and blushed at motion of the least disgrace. But shame is gone, and honour wiped away, and impudency on my forehead sits. She bids me work my will without delay, and for my will I will employ my wits. He loves, I love. What then can be the cause keeps me from being the Arabian's wife? It is the principles of Moses' laws, for Constabarus still remains in life. If he to me did bear as earnest hate as I to him, for him there were an ease a separating bill might free his fate from such a yoke that did so much displease. Why should such privilege to man be given, or given to them? Why barred from women then? Are men than we in greater grace with heaven, or cannot women hate as well as men? I'll be the custom breaker, and begin to show my sex the way to freedom's door. And with an offering will I purge my sin, for the law was made for none but who are poor. I will divorce my husband from my bed, that my Saleas may possess his room. Had I not begged his life, he had been dead. I curse my tongue, the hinderer of his doom. But then my wandering heart to him was fast, nor did I dream of change. Salome said he would be here. And see, he comes. Had I not named him, longer had he stayed.
Am I the Mariam that presumed so much, and deemed my face must needs preserve my breath? I it was that thought my beauty such, that it alone could countermand my death. Now death will teach me he can pale as well a cheek of roses as a cheek less bright, and dim an eye whose shine doth most excel, as soon as one that casts a meaner light. Had not myself against myself conspired, no plot, no adversary from without, my Herod's love from Mariam have retired, or from his heart have thrust my semblance out. The wanton queen, that never loved for love, false Cleopatra, wholly set on game, with all her sleights did try, yet vainly prove for her the love of Herod to obtain. Yet her allurements, all her courtly guile, her smiles, her favours, and her smooth deceit, could not my face from Herod's mind exile, but were with him of less than little weight. That face that to be Egypt's pride was born, that face that all the world esteemed so rare, did Herod hate, despise, neglect, and scorn, when with the same he Mariam's did compare. This maid that I improvidently wrought, and on the wager in my life did pawn, because I thought, yet but truly thought, that Herod's love could not from me be drawn. But now, though out of time I plainly see it could be drawn, though never drawn from me, had I but with humility been graced, as well as fair, I might have proved me wise. But I did think, because I knew me chaste, one virtue for a woman might suffice. That mind glory of our sex might stand, wherein humility and chastity doth march with equal paces, hand in hand, but chastity alone, who setteth by? That I had chastity, it is my joy, that I was ever innocent, though sour. And therefore, can they but my life destroy? My soul is free from adversary's power. You princes, great in power and high in birth, be great and high. I envy not your hap, your birth must be from dust, your power on earth. In heaven shall Mariam sit in Sarah's lap.
In heaven? Your beauty cannot bring you thither. Your soul is black and spotted, full of sin. You, in adultery, lived 9 years together, and heaven will never let adultery in.
What art thou that dost poor Mariam pursue? Some spirit sent to drive me to despair. Who sees for truth that Mariam is untrue? If fair she be, she is as chaste as fair.
I am that Doris that was once beloved by Herod, Herod's lawful wife. 'Twas you that Doris from his side removed and robbed from me the glory of my life.
Was that adultery? Did not Moses say that he that being matched did deadly hate might, by permission, put his wife away and take a more beloved to be his mate?
What did he hate me for simple truth? For bringing beauteous babes, for love to him, for riches, noble birth, tender youth. Or for no stain did Doris honour him? Oh, tell me, Mariam, tell me if you know. flaming fire upon the base-born heads that were begotten in unlawful beds. But let them live till they have sense to know what 'tis to be in miserable states. Then be their nearest friends their overthrow. Attended be they by suspicious hate. Oh, and Mariam, I do hope a son of mine shall one day come to be the death of thine.